So every time I see this sign, it makes me think of the movie Full Metal Jacket, when the sergeant, who's played by R. Lee Ermey, comes in and checks the guy's foot locker and there's no lock on it. And he says, "Jesus, blank, blank." I'm saying it on here, I'll probably get edited by YouTube. "If it wasn't for people like you who have unlocked foot lockers, there would be no thievery in this world, would there?" And it's kind of the truth. So anyway, we're here at Nippersink Forest Preserve. It's really grown in. It's August. About a month and a half from now, there'll be all kinds of caterpillars that crawl around on the ground out here. So I'm gonna film some of this. I'm gonna do like a 1.25 mile walk, I think, today. I don't think I'm going to film all of that, because that'll probably be about a 20-minute walk, 22-minute walk if I take my time. But I will film, you know, 5, 6, 7, 8 minutes of this maybe, just so everybody can see that here in Lake County, Illinois, at Nippersink Forest Preserve, it's one of the many places that has real nice trails to hike on and stuff. And when I started my career as a government newspaper reporter, I'm a sports reporter now, but as a government newspaper reporter in 1996, one of the things that I came across all the time was groups of people who lived out here that were on the Lake County board, who wanted to do everything they could to preserve as much of the open spaces they can here, so it doesn't become overdeveloped like Cook County is to the south of here. And so a lot of our tax dollars here go toward the Forest Preserve District, and the reason is they just buy up acres and acres of land so that people can kind of enjoy it. And this is probably the most overgrown I've seen this since I started coming out here. They really have a lot of stuff filling out all this space. Good morning. I'm just trying to be polite and not film people when I walk by.
Yeah, that's cool. It's cool with Gizmo.
I'll tell you, these are great. Yeah, they do 4K at 60 frames a second, and it's got image stabilization, so if I bounce around and stuff, it still keeps it steady. So when you watch it on a good 4K TV, it looks so lifelike.
Cool,
You too. Anyway, just chatting with a friendly individual who had a United States Marine Corps t-shirt on, and it looked like he had a big dog with him, and I think it was probably a pit bull. I have to go back and look, but just real friendly people out here most of the time. So anyway, it's a little cooler today than it was yesterday. It's still probably going to be in the mid 70s, upper 70s today. Not real humid out. Let's see, what should I talk about for people watching this besides strangers and government and nonsense you don't want to hear about? Let's see, Donald Trump, he got raided at his home in Florida. I don't want to talk about that today. The other thing out here that I like a lot is there's a lot of bird variety. I see a lot of, and I'm no expert on birds by any stretch of the imagination. I see a lot of finches that are yellow, a lot of bluebirds, a lot of blackbirds, things like that. And we just went up a pretty steep hill. Now you're going to get a real good view over here in a second. So we'll come around the corner here, and this is just off on the side of the trail, but you have this big lake up here, and there's actually two lakes that are connected to each other, and they don't get real deep. But an interesting side note about Nippersink Forest Preserve is this used to be, believe it or not, a pretty rundown looking RV park, a recreational vehicle park. And the reason I know this is when I first moved here, I met a girl, and I'm trying to think what her name is. Usually I can remember everybody's names. But she was a blonde girl. And I don't know if her parents or grandparents or somebody lived here, but I met her and actually came out here and visited with her at one point. And she didn't end up being a girlfriend of mine or anything, but it was one of those things where I had a sports car, and she was definitely, at the time, a very attractive young woman who was very interested in me. But I think I was like 19 at the time, and she was like 16, and that was kind of, I just was always someone who hung out with people who were my age for the most part. So anyway, she was a nice person. Wish I could remember what her name was though. I guess I'm getting old. Anyway, there is a wooden bridge coming up here in about 20 yards. Oh, also, you see there's an airplane up there about a mile to my south. Behind me there's a small airport called Campbell Airport, where planes are constantly taking off from and landing around here. Good day for flying. Everything's pretty calm. There's not a lot of wind. One time on this bridge, I saw a big old turtle just sitting up here on the bridge. And I thought to myself, well, obviously he's not going to climb up the edge here. I just started thinking about how long it probably took for that turtle to climb up here and get on this bridge. Another time, we were like, me and my son were like a half mile into the trail, and we just saw a random crawfish like a half mile away from the water out here, just taking a stroll down the path. So there's some interesting wildlife in here, and I know there's northern pike in there, there's bass, bluegill. This is all catch and release fishing though out here by order of the Forest Preserve District, so at least they try to kind of maintain the integrity of the fishing out here. Boy, it's really, really colorful out here. Usually I would come here 2-3 times a week, but I've only been here a couple times this year. I've been going to other forest preserves and places to do hikes instead, so anyhow, right now there's tons of carp in that water out there. Got some tiny little bird. It looks like a baby sparrow. Boy, that's a little bird. Holy cow. Oh, maybe that's not. Is that a hummingbird? Oh, it's going to hide from me, so I'm not going to be able to see. Yeah, he keeps flying away. He's spooked by me, unfortunately. Otherwise, I'd try and get a better close-up view. I'm wondering if I should break this video into multiple parts to show everybody the other side. This, if you walk far enough, there's a side trail that goes over a big creek about a mile away from here to the north of here. And again, I'm probably only going to walk like a